Bahati with Africa Faith and Justice Network. For an American company to come and oppress the Cameroonian people, it's not acceptable.
Jeff Bamenjo. I am the coordinator of Relufa, a civil society organization based in Yaoundé. And Herakles campaign is one of the campaign issues that we work on.
Kathy Murphy and I represent Joining Hands, Twin Cities, Minnesota, partnered with Cameroon working on extractive industry and land grab issues. Very interested in finding out how we can do our part across the Atlantic to move this campaign forward.
My name is Nasako Bisingi, Engine Director of the Struggle to Economize Future Environment. I'm also a farmer. I grow palms and cocoa. My village is within this zone of Herakles concession. If the project was a good project, then we stand the better chance to benefit. And if it is a bad project, then I will also stand the worst chance of success. When people say I'm against this project, I think that it is not only me who is against the project. The problem is the location of the project. When you look at international and national norms, it clearly states that projects of this magnitude to be put in this area, they need to carry out a precautionary approach. This area is very, very significant in the conservation domain, in the hydrological domain, in the agricultural domain, and even the cultural domain. So we feel that putting a project like the palm oil project in between the Karom National Park and the Rumpwe Hills, which is a complex watershed formation, is not going to affect just the local community living nearby the plantation or within the concession, but also far-off communities living in coastal fringes in Nigeria and Cameroon. The company had also sued me for what they call bad publicity. They said that I am the one who is passing misinformation or information to the national and international communities. So I have all the proof to prove that Herakles has illegally planted pillars in communities within Mundemba, and I can prove that anytime and anywhere. Because the approach has not been it's not in conformity with national and international norms. And the Herakles people, because when they came, they pushed aside the Cameroon law, they pushed aside the international laws and conventions, and they smashed the community in the approach. And we don't like that type of approach. So we want the community to understand that they have rights through the free, prior, and informed consent. And so we wanted to tell them, because they were very, very confused, and also we wanted to let their voice heard beyond the horizons of their villages. We successfully held a meeting in Mundemba. More than 300 people participated. We invited the company. Come and tell us how you managed to be here and what you are doing, who you are. Believe me, Herakles Farm duly served with an invitation letter, failed to turn up. The second meeting was called again in Kumba. They were duly served with an invitation. They decided to stay away from that meeting. And because of all that, we realized that we're trying to talk to a company that does not want to talk, or for community to even make some kind of concession or a negotiation, if you put it this way, to a company that does not want to negotiate. And so the only best option, since they had the administration behind them, was to go to court. And interestingly, the Cameroon Environmental Court provided an ample opportunity for us to sue a company destroying forests. Because by this time, they had destroyed forests. They had destroyed these forests in Fabe, in Penja, and so on, without talking to the local community. And when we went to court and got the first court injunction, the people of Nguti area asked us to fight on their behalf. So they sent a delegation to Sefer, and we decided to go to court in Bangem. Unfortunately, the magistrate said the court does not have jurisdiction to entertain a land dispute, whereas the matter in front of him was environmental issues. This road you see like this was constructed by the self-reliant effort of the Ngolo people through their organization called the Ngolo Cultural Development Association, abbreviated as KUDA. So there was no road. And when we were small, that's when this construction took place. And my own parents told me they contributed money for this road because they didn't want us, when we grow up, to suffer the same fate that they had, trekking all the way from here down to Limbe, or to Kumba, or to Douala, or to Kumba, or anywhere that was accessible by car. And so when they dug the road, they said they wanted to make things easy for us so that we can come back and invest. It was an interesting area, and so that's why they dug the road. So many people are very furious with the fact that somebody could just walk out from nowhere, other having an agreement in Yaoundé, and come and tell them that the government has given them land which contains their villages, their farms, and their shrines. It was unacceptable to the people. Cameroon is one of the most corrupt countries in the world, so anything can happen at any time, and decision can be made and cancelled at any time. No stomach with Herakles. We are not enemies. There are other land in Cameroon that can be used for that plantation, but I think in this area, it's just no good for palm oil. But to put a project in this area that will have cascading effects on other underlying systems and other people in other parts of the world will not be good. And so there should be no plantation in this area. And I want to send one message back to the American people, that we are not opposed to Americans doing business in Cameroon, and not business that come to like destroy the environment, destroy even our lives. Because this Herakles project, they sat somewhere either in the Canary Island or in New York and took the maps of Cameroon and carve an area and come and say, oh, they want to invest here. They didn't take into consideration that this area was inhabited. And so they wanted to press that on us. And they built their company on the foundation of lies, corruption, and everything. That is the company. And that is not what American stands for. American stands for good value. Let their value be reflected in us, in the population living in some of the villages that you are visiting today. They would be very, very pleased if their voices are heard on the other side of the Atlantic. What is really obstructing the development of the area is just road. You see bananas farm, you see plantain farm, you see cocoa farm as we go ahead. But then there are times that this road is not passable, and cocoa and everything keep piling and get rotten, and people are not able to send their children to school. It's just the road. Just the word, but the fact that Herakles said they were going to give them road, of course, they are not supposed to, because they are not Ministry of Public Works in Cameroon. We have a ministry concerned with that. I thought that we just wanted Herakles to succumb to natural reasoning, that this area is not a good area for palm oil plantation. We're not fighting them. We have no stomach with Herakles. I want to thank those who invited me to Washington, D.C., Greenpeace USA. Thank those who I met, who came from the State Departments, who came from the World Bank, who came from USAID, and many other organizations and institutions and universities. We are still appealing to them to help us finish this fight, to take this message to an end.